all three of the books. Which one do y'all think is the best now that we're on the last one?
I didn't get a chance.
Oh, okay, this one is still an audio, so you still got time to do it.
It's a long one.
It's very long, and the chapters are very long. I think because after I read this one, heard this one on audio. After I heard it on audio, I started going to see the reviews on it, because it's 50 cents, so I knew that people was doing reviews on it. And lo and behold, there were reviews, and a lot of people were saying that the chapters are extremely long. It's like 8 chapters in the book, but the book is super long, so he goes off principles in the book, different things that he done been through and how he related it to different stuff. But when I first read it, I thought it was going to be like reading one of his social media posts. Like, it's going to be funny and probably not make sense. More like reading a Rick Ross book. Have anybody ever read a Rick Ross book?
No.
Alright, y'all, so Rick Ross got a book out. I don't think we're going to do it in the book club, but it's interesting if you get the time to read it and everything. He do. But I thought that 50 was going to be more like that. 50 Cent is smart.
You mean Curtis Jackson?
Curtis Jackson, correction, because he separates his personas. He's so smart, and he philosophizes in the book. He also paired up with Robert Greene, which is another book that he has. We may do that for another book club. I think it's 49 miles or 50 miles an hour.
48.
48? Yeah, 48 miles, but yeah, he did that. So, this book was long, so there are a lot of different points that that came out. And because we had already been talking about the different points from the books that were kind of similar, one of the points in the book that he made that I thought might have been similar to the other books was the fact that we were talking about the therapist and how in the coldest secret ever, she chose her therapist off of dressing. 50 Cent is also one of those people that judges off of appearance. He's like the first thing that he does when he assesses a person is look and sees what they're wearing, if they're groomed from head to toe. So because he feels like if you didn't take the time to groom yourself, then you probably wouldn't do good business. I didn't necessarily agree with that because I work different. But when I did hear that, because another point that he made is that you might get one perception of things, the world got another perception. For instance, if I write a book and nobody buys it, that's a good book for me. But if I write a book and I want to appeal to an audience, then I gotta care what the world is reading, what they're thinking, and what they're watching. And the point that he made is that he's older, and he started off rapping. So he couldn't just spend his entire career being a rapper. He evolved and did The Water and did the series and did all other kind of stuff to make himself relevant. So that was like something that I also picked up too, like as we grow as women, men, and grow into our lives and stuff, how have I evolved? And then another point before I pass it off is that he made is that you always have to be looking at what's next. So although you might be at the top of whatever it is that you're doing, you still need to push further than that. Like you can't just sit there and stagnant in whatever it is that you're doing. Even if it is doing good, you still gotta push further. So those were like really good key points that I picked up from the book. I love his resilience. I love how he was able to change things to stay in the game. And I like his business moves too. Another point he made was that he didn't do he didn't take lump sums of money when people were trying to pay him. They're trying to give him, $50,000 for this. He wanted a percentage in the company. And later, because he took that percentage, he didn't take the upfront money, the party money, and that. The percentages is what he uses for his residuals, and that's the money he lives off of. So I thought that was important too. But yeah, anybody else got any points for me?
I would say, I think, I like the book. I read it a while back. I liked learning a different part of him because 50 Cent, the character or whatever
Yes.
gets on my nerves. Like, I just be like, who he bullying today? Like, he always has something. But when I read the book, I'm like, it gave a glimpse of his childhood, some of the struggles that he went through. besides he talk about some stuff in his music, but I think the book really goes deeper in his relationship with his grandparents and things like that. That was nice to read about.
Yes.
And then, like you said, the business acumen, like it's top notch. And I think one of the things that I was surprised about is his amount of discipline that he applies
Oh,
in his life.
yes.
Yeah. Like, even to the fact where he don't drink alcohol and all, all of these kind of
Yes.
things. And I'm just like, okay. And so I kind of look at him differently. Like, he had a really good time with Diddy, right? When all that stuff went
I
out
thought
with
he
Diddy.
hated him, y'all. I
Yes.
really thought he hated Diddy, the way he be on the internet talking about that
Yes,
man.
but it
So
was a different, But when I hear his posts or read his posts now, I look at it differently. I look at everything he do as a business. It's all about business. It all come back, whether it's getting our reactions, if you fighting and arguing in the comments, you sharing it like he get on my nerves, even that helped, and, it just, made me look at him differently. And so I really think it's some great gems in that book. In my book at home, it's just highlighted in so many different places. So I think if you haven't read it yet, that you should. It is a long.
it's a long read, but you
Yeah,
don't
but
get
once you
bored.
get into it, you're definitely not gonna get bored.
Yeah.
I think I might have to get the hard copy then.
48 Laws of Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. So 48 Laws of Hustling, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, and the Coldest Secret Ever. But there's another book that you can go off of that with the same author, the same story. But I think that he kind of like, I'm glad he did that because he said that he had read the 48 Laws of Power, reading, which I'm glad this is our last book. He was talking about how important reading is, and I love to forget that. I love to put it at the back of my mind that reading is everything for life, right? So he talked about how many books he reads, and how much he reads, and how often he reads, and how he doesn't dismiss it, and how you can't just miss those. And he said that one of the laws that he got from reading Robert Greene's book was that you never outshine your master. That hit me, right? Because there have been times, and that's one of those controversial ones, because when I get to a job, I do my best, right? I'm number one this, number one that, number one in everything. Some positions that I've been in, so I've been working since I was 12, so I had a lot of jobs. Some positions that I've been in, my boss would begin to not like me. And I used to be like, why y'all don't like me? I'm doing everything perfect down to like, I'm not even snitching on who doing what. I'm just doing what and it didn't hit me till he said that. I was like, wow, that was a good one. Don't outshine your master. But he was saying that he picked that up from Robert Greene's book. One of the only things that he picked up from his book. So if you pick up anything from his book and take it along with you, that's good. And as you read different books, pile your books up, you pick up something from each one, and it makes you a better all-around person. You a better philosopher, because readers definitely are leaders. Like the people that are leading our country right now would benefit from sitting down and just really reading and understanding what people are really going. So that was a big key that I picked up from him. Like, whoa, don't outshine your master. Have anybody ever did that besides me?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm not in my place. I was telling you, like, I was promoted. I was promoted before my last supervisor came in, and I continued to, for a while there was no director, so I was like Stephanie doing all the director stuff, but I didn't take that job. I wasn't taking the position, but I was doing everything that the director would have been doing. And when she came in, it was like I was still trying to do my thing. She was trying to like emote me, like I'm like, thank you. I was just there, and I left. And I mean, even though I'm starting somewhere else, I have plenty of room to grow. There's no couch for growth. And I just, whether niggas, like you said, never get complacent, never get comfortable in what you're doing, just continue to grow. And that's all something I'm always saying to the Lord, take me on, because I'm not going to stop growing.
And that's the thing, once you get your boss to that space, or your leader or a teacher, even such as when I was reading the people that was doing interviews, teachers do it too. When you get in their classroom and you in their opinion. And it might be true because you get a result that's negative, but in their opinion, you're doing too much. They don't answer your questions as much. They start demeaning you in class. They start doing different stuff. But once you get to that space with someone who has information that could benefit you in your future and to progress you, you don't come from that space no more. So they ain't gonna give it to you no more. I think that humbling yourself sometimes might benefit. That I've been on both sides, to where if I would have humbled myself, it probably would have turned out great. Then I've been on the other side where you got to stand up for yourself at some point. You know, you're being bullied at this point. And if you don't say something, then your self-esteem is not gonna be right. Like that check is one thing, but you know, once you get home and you start playing in your mind while you brushing your teeth, but you look in the mirror like, I'm a thug. What's going on? What's going on with me? How she say that to me? You know, it hits you later. So certain situations, yes. Certain situations, no. Another example is I was working at a daycare and I came in as a teacher for the preschool, and I liked the director and she liked me a lot. And she had told me, like, I want to get you ready to be one of the directors, the co-director. And I went and told the co-director that. So it was just like, yeah. So things were bad from there. Things were all the way bad from there. So it's just a matter of, knowing what to say and what not to say and when to pull it back. Oh, yeah, that part. Y'all said the same time.
I want to add a real master. I agree with what he's saying. Don't outshine your master, and you have to interpret that a certain way. Because I think a real master, when they have a student, they want their student to do better than them. And I have mentors that want me to do better. But I think the outshine part is staying humble and know that you're going to continue to learn. Don't be a asshole to your master. Like, have that respect and that honor. But I think a real master wants you to go all the way. Not you gotta stay under me and I'm staying the master. No, that's not
being able to continue to learn from, like, now I know everything. Like, you don't want to have that I know everything attitude. Just to be able to still be teachable and still be willing to learn.
that part. Yes. So I think that interpretation. I'll take that. Like, don't outshine, okay, but your master wants you to do well
Just
and
like
to
a
still
parent.
be teachable. Just like a parent. Yeah.
Their kids do better than
Yeah.
or be better than them. But don't forget,
Don't
you're
forget.
I'm the parent.
Right.
Type of thing,
Don't forget that respect.
Yeah, I like that, especially like staying teaching. Because I think from what I took from it a little bit is that, you ever heard that saying, dance who you came to the party with? Like sometimes you bring people along and you give them opportunities and things like that, and they take the ball and, throw it back in your face. Like we have to, that's the other part of that too. Like everybody don't do right with the opportunities that you give them and you put them on and things like that. Sometimes you bring people along with you and they stab you in the back. Or you teach them one or two things and they're like, oh no, I don't need you. Like I got this. I'm you now. You can stay home, I got it. I'm gonna run it today. Yeah. So I think that's kind of like where I interpret that to be in the book. Yeah.
But he had hit on that too. He talked about Lloyd Banks. He talked about some people that he came in the game with when he first bought when he first got his money. He went and bought, the big house. I think it was Floyd Mayweather's house. Went and bought that house, and every day he had everybody from the hood in it. And it was kind of like going to a club every day. Cost about $10,000 a week, I think he said it was, to live there. But as he grew, he ended up selling the house, and a lot of his friends was like, where we supposed to go? And he's like, I can't keep taking everybody with me. But another thing he was doing was testing his friends in a different way. The way he tested his friends was, hey Tamika, you and I are going to do a business deal together. What are you going to charge me for your services that you're going to do for me? I need you to put the balloons up at my event. Oh, Bonnie, I want to charge you whatever amount. So, okay, I have 7 events. I need you to do the 7 events, and it's going good. Well, his friend ended up being like, one of the deals that they were doing, I need my $50,000. It was way too much for what he was doing, but because it was 50 cent, he saw 50 cent get money, he like, I need that 50,000 right away. And 50 was like, you know, I paid him the 50,000, but he also offered him a percentage in the company. And the guy chose the 50,000. All right, years went by, they not as tight as they used to be because that hurt that friendship, that you wanted 50,000 from me immediately. He gave him the 50,000, but it still was like, you know, so it's like,
Your nose off despite your face.
come on. And now the dude is still, cause the deal that he would've got was 1.1 million. The 50,000 that he got is gone.
That's it.
So, yeah.
And he was fit.
My question is to do with, just like you say, when you might have reached a place where your boss or your superior feels like you are in a place that is intimidating for them. And if you know that you come from a place of sincerity, how do you bounce back from that? How do you not let that affect you?
When I got fired, it just hurt. I just had to feel it. It hurt because it was like I was about maybe 3 years ago. I was at CVS and I was doing healthcare from the phone, and it was a temporary position, so it's supposed to be temp to permanent. And those are, y'all know those janky positions anyway. So when I had ended up doing perfect on my calls, doing perfect on everything I was supposed to do, no problems whatsoever. I ended up just getting a call in the morning like, you don't need to come back no more. And it was because we were in one of those environments where they do group chats. And I don't participate in a lot of group chats and group messages and stuff for this reason. It happened before. But what happens in group chats is there's always like, and the people under it are either kissing their butt or they're scared to say something to this person. And usually the superior is the boss. So that group chat that was going on for CBS, I never got involved in it. You know, why they kissing the manager butt, all of it, because I knew I had the qualities of everything that everybody was doing, and I'm gonna show you. That's what I thought, right? So I'm just getting number ones and everything. So when I got fired, I immediately was like, this is discrimination. I am telling you. Charleston White, look, y'all wrong. Who do I need to, where do I stand? Where's the lawyer at? All that other kind of stuff. But she had the upper hand. She was still a contractor as well as me, but she was a manager. So if she told them whatever, Bonnie is blue, but I'm real, they're gonna believe her. I'm just a number, right? So it just hurt. I just had to take it. I had to go find me another job. Found a better job. God had that. But I had to take it, and it hurt so bad I cried because it wasn't fair.
Yeah,
It was-
character.
It
Especially for me,
does. I don't trust
because I was
people.
leading from a very authentic place, and I still feel the repercussions of it. So that's why I say when you feel your pain is real, and you're gonna feel it as long as you feel it. I still feel it. You know, I'm just daily trying to find ways to, like you say, maintain who I am, to not change my integrity because of that painful situation. But it has been a slow process of regaining and having the confidence to be myself as bold as I once was.
Yes, that because I didn't feel that I was this capable person that I thought I was.
Right.
'Cause I thought-
It makes you doubt yourself.
Yeah, it definitely do. So you just gotta. I just felt it. That's my way.
I'm curious as to these entrepreneurs and also some of them more seasoned.
Was coming from a position like that. Someplace that I thought, I was there like 6.5 years. And I came in as receptionist and another position as well. And then when COVID hit, I was transferred into a different position when we came back.
cause I'm trying not to repeat it, you know what I mean? And so, it's like, I don't wanna be disingenuous going into new things, or like, say for instance, if I'm coming into this group, I don't wanna not be who I am in this group of people because of an experience that I had before.
Yes.
You know, but it's hard trying to learn how to navigate through, you know, the new stuff.
I like what you said about, dear God, help me with my non-beliefs. I want to keep that. Help me,
Y'all
cause
dropping
that,
gems.
yeah.
Y'all dropping
Cause it's
gems.
hard.
Yeah,
It's
it's a book.
hard, yeah.
By that title too.
Yeah, no, we got a book by the title.
That's the next book. That's the next
Uh,
reading.
it's already, Brenda Somerville, I think it is.
You said, yeah, we gotta look that one up.
Right.
I got it at home. I'll send you a picture.
Thank you for sharing.
And that was the theme of all of the books. They basically, all the authors were in situations where they had to hustle out. Because I think that, me personally, when I was picking the books out, I wanted to pick something that resonated with what we're going through as a people right now. Just, you know, the hardness, like it's either you up or you down, and it's very hard, especially groceries and just life,
eggs.
period. So like,
Eggs is $900.
yeah, for real. I got
True.
kids.
It's insane.
Eggs are a
So
luxury.
when I was thinking, I'm like, how can we get past that? Like, cause I'm without music, it hits you and it helps you get through those emotions. With books, it's a little different. It can help you get to the next level of your life. So I wanted to pick books that were like gravitating towards that, opening up our minds and stuff, because I needed it. And I was like, you know, I want to share that part with other people. So, is any final thoughts you guys got about the 3 books, or any particular questions, or anything that y'all want to go over?
I just want to say that I can appreciate you for this effort, because in this short time, it has absolutely been a catalyst
I mean, so
to help, just like you said, to help me reboot, to restructure,